Hey everybody, welcome back to Elder Scrolling Online. This is episode number 14. We are back after a 3-week break, but there is a reason for that. Before we get into that whole scenario, I'm going to introduce my hosts, starting with the man I've missed, Mr. Fred Werner, aka Baranon.
Hello, Joe. How are you tonight, my friend?
I am doing great. It is fantastic being back on the air with you guys. Missed you,
Sure.
missed you. And I'm joined by the man that I got to hang out with all last weekend, Mr. Vince Robinson, a.k.a. Kareneth.
Hello, everyone. It was a blast hanging out with you, Joe, and welcome everyone to our next podcast on ESO.
And I'm joined, as always, by my partner in crime in both shows, really, Mr. Justin Blatecki, a.k.a. Nivosi. You're muted.
Duh.
Justin. Wow.
Just again.
Justin strikes again.
There we go.
There he is.
All of a sudden, Google Hangouts decided it wanted to not recognize my mic anymore.
Oh, that is always fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a blast. Alright, guys, so we are live for episode number 14. Now, I want to explain something about this show. This show is not going to be exactly an every week guarantee. Reason is we have to have content to talk about. And if there's no content to talk about, there's no reason for us to come on the air. So there might be a couple of weeks or a week that we might skip because of lack of content. Don't worry about it, we will be back on the air at our regularly scheduled Sunday night time at 8 p.m. Eastern, on Twitch TV /ESOing, also hosted through twitch.tv /NM Gaming Show, our Ninja Monkeys primary site and Twitch channel. And I want to welcome everybody back to Elder Scrolling Online. I am recovering from PAX Pox, aka the severe cold. When you get 100,000 people, nearly 100,000 people in the same building for a 3-day period from all over the world, you've got a good chance of getting sick. So you don't want to point and laugh at people wearing masks because they're the smart ones.
There you go. One of the reasons why I can't really go to places like that.
Yeah, the risk of infection.
Yeah, the risk of getting contaminated.
Yeah. All right, so as we all know, 1.6 is officially here. It has launched. I've enjoyed it so far a lot, actually. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. There are some negatives and the positives to it, mostly positives from my point of view. I will ask my co-hosts whether they think it's mostly positive. We'll find out very, very shortly. That's going to be the vast majority of this episode is 1.6. And the fact that I believe tomorrow is the official launch of Elder Scrolls Online 2.0.
Yep.
As Fred coined that pre-show. As the buy-to-play version launching tomorrow. We get to spend all of our fun little tokens and crowns into the crown store, buy some new mounts, which I'm going to be doing straight off the bat, and enjoying. And the costumes, the potions, things like that, they're going to be all available from the crown store starting tomorrow. And there's going to be an influx of people coming to servers, so I'm not going to be surprised if there are going to be queues, especially going into AVA. Expect longer queue time starting tomorrow. Just be prepared for that.
Tomorrow or Tuesday?
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, Tuesday is when they
Tuesday?
start coming. Tomorrow the patch hits, but Tuesday is when we'll see the influx of
I could have swore
newbies.
that it said the 16th was the buy-to-play launch.
And
17th.
17th.
Oh, the 17th. Okay, my bad. So
Yeah,
Tuesday.
16th is the
No
launch of
problem.
2.0.
That cold will forgive you.
Okay, thanks, Fred. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I want to welcome everybody in our chat room on both channels. You guys are our 5th host. Any questions, comments you would like to bring up for the show, please ask them in chat. Make sure they are clean. We prefer that. And we will make sure to get those in as soon as we can when it's appropriate. We don't answer everything in the chat room. We are trying to do a show here. But things that catch our opinion or our eye, because I watch chat all the time. So if you see me on camera looking over, I'm looking over at my other screen reading chat. And also monitoring everything, looking at my show notes, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know that. That's in the background. All right, guys. So before we get into this, before we get into 1.6, I want to know what you guys have been up to in the game. We haven't talked about that in a month.
Boy,
And Fred, what have you been up to, man?
Well, I mean, obviously, with all my issues, I have been in and out of the game quite a bit. It's been a tough month for me between my health problems and also all my hardware issues. My computer's decided to be just as unhealthy as I've been, really, and so it's been tough. But I'm happy to say that Baranon is very close to reaching 14.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm about 80% of the way through 13 and should hit 14 sometime this week if all goes well. Excuse me. I have completed all the quest stories through with gold and everything like that, and I am basically doing a catch up. I'm going through all the gold area and all the silver areas, going back to anything that I've missed, all the dungeons and the anchors and what have you, the dolmens, and enjoying myself basically. Just like, I missed that quest. Oh, I missed that, because I am a completionist. I enjoy doing that more than anything else.
Right.
I'm not on ABA, so I'm going to stay in the PVE area. Probably go and hit other areas and spend my time and try and get the trials done and completed. Get up there and do the arena a little bit more often and things like that. I'm with 1.6, I'm in love. I got to admit, like I've been saying all along, I think this is a total refresh of the game, and it really has come down to that. We'll talk more, I'm sure, about that. But the one thing I want to point out is I have found with this last week that the combat has just become, for me, being a Dragon Knight, that's my big thing. Is I love melee, and wow, this is great. Things that it used to become kind of like, okay, hit 1, hit 2, hit 3, hit 4, hit 3, hit 4, rinse, repeat. And now I find that the same characters that I go up against, and I'll be up against 2 or 3 mobs, and I hit 3, which usually is I do a shield bash or whatever, and it stuns me. Oh, wait a second, he's immune to that now. That's not
rethink.
That's not right. What's going on here? But I can't sit there and worry about it. I have to change what I was going to do, and I have to change my way of thinking. And the next time I do it, it worked. And it might happen again, and again it might not. So the AI has absolutely changed, so much so that every time I'm in combat now, boy, it's a totally different feel.
That was going to be one of my key points tonight. That's yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Fred.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to break, but it came up, and that's one of my points about my game that has changed dramatically, and I think that's phenomenal. I just love.
I've always thought, and I've always said this multiple times, that's one of my favorite things about ESO is with the active combat and how you do have to think on your feet, unlike other MMOs where it's just point and click.
Yeah.
And maybe get out of the poop every now and then. In ESO, it's you've got to be very, very conscious of your surroundings, and what the NPCs are going to be doing to you. You got to really watch them carefully. On my DK, it's the same thing. Yeah, my DK, I find myself, because I play him melee mostly with bow as my secondary, but when I'm in my two-hand weapons, I find myself using my dodge rolls and my dodges a lot more often than I ever had before, just to reposition myself properly, so they don't get behind me, they don't box me in, and I can get in the proper position. My sorcerer has become phenomenal. I don't know what happened, but actually I do, because I got a little passion in front of me. But it didn't really occur to me everything that went in to make him this way. But he feels so much more powerful, and I have to be a lot more, like you just said, more thinking on my feet with him. So I've redesigned my bars to be that way, to where I can think more on my feet.
And I think the champion system helped a lot too for everybody. What you can do with that is amazing.
I originally thought that the champion system was going to be you put your points in and it worked for all your characters the same way, but it's not the case. The points are shared, but you get to do different points. You do your champions points in different ways for each character, which was a good thing for me, because obviously playing a caster versus a melee is a lot of things I don't want to share. It'd be a waste.
Yeah.
Right. Each character has its own champion layout.
Yep. And I loved spending 3 hours putting points into my characters. I actually did.
Phenomenal.
going through the champion points, thinking, okay, what am I gonna do with this? Is this gonna work this way? Ooh, I really want that one in the future. I found myself planning for the future of my characters, and I noticed the champion system. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. One of the big things I notice about it that's kind of pushes you to it. It pushes you towards alt-itis. Because you want more
Yes, it
characters
definitely
to
makes
hit.
your ults more powerful. so-
Yeah, and you want your alts to hit into the VR system or the VR ranking, so you get more champion points to use.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So
To play-
Justin,
more you
we've got to
get,
play our
the
character
good we
more.
have. Yep, it's going to be fun.
What else, Fred?
That's the big stuff for me.
Right.
I have other characters that I haven't really been able to play, so I've been focused on Baronon and obviously also getting involved with helping guildmates with whatever pledge runs they're doing or other dungeons, etc. Having a lot of fun also with guild events. I'm not involved with running it anymore, thankfully. One of our wonderful elder council members, Pavlina, has taken over that for me, and I can breathe again.
Well,
and,
I just
worry
wanna
about
let-
other things, helping Karenith running our guild and taking on more administrative duties and having more time.
I'm coming back into it now, finally, after a long hiatus, because my schedule is crazy. Now I can actually help you guys and actually be more involved in the guild, which I'm planning to do so. Do you think ESO will be free to play by July 9th? No. They are sticking to the buy and play model.
Correct.
That's what
Right.
ESO is going to be from now on. Just like
Right.
the Guild Wars series that I hate. It's the same format as them, but better. So,
Yeah, if they go free to play, I'd be surprised. I think there'll be a lot of. I don't think you'll see free to play.
you won't. I
No.
can guarantee that right now. You will not see free to play with ESO. It
Right.
costs you $50, $60 to buy the game, and you're in. You don't have to pay a monthly subscription, so it's a great deal. Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Enjoy
There's
an
advantages to that
amazing game.
model.
What, Vince?
There's advantages to that model. For instance, it does keep out a lot of the gold spammers, and that's
Still
sort
have
of
to buy the game.
riffraff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
they can't just log in without any credit card or any payment
You
information at all.
brought something up I want to talk about, Ben. What is the advantages between buy to play and free to play, and the cons?
Mhm. The main thing I think of is the quality of the community. I believe, in my opinion, the buy-to-play has a slightly better community than the completely free-to-play model, where anyone can just download the game and just go play without any true commitment.
Well, I would say it has a much better
Mhm.
value of a community than slightly, but agreed. Yeah, for sure that you don't have the spammers, you don't have the gold buyers, or the sellers rather.
Well, let me give you guys
Bots.
my breakdown here really quick, and you guys can discuss off of that if you like. When it comes to the pro to cons, here is the big deal. Now, when you're doing buy to play, you are unlocking the entire game on the get-go because you have to purchase the game. When you do a
Yes.
full free to play, many things are locked or highly
Sure.
restricted, such as
Right.
bag space, mounts, things of that nature. And so that's their way of getting you to purchase the extra stuff through the stores. That's the free to play is extremely limited. Now, when you do buy to play, like I just said, it's unlocked. Now, anything you would do in like the cash stores or the Crown store, for instance, in ESO, is strictly going to be cosmetic based stuff. Or if it's
Right.
going to be potions that are going to be like health potions, mana potions, they're going to be slightly less effective than player made. So those are things to highly consider when you're looking at the buy-to-play feature versus the free-to-play. Free-to-play, like you guys said, it does open up a lot of gold spam, that kind of thing, so they can just create multiple accounts at all times. Buy-to-play, they have to constantly buy $50 every time to get caught an hour later and have to buy another $50. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You guys are right. It does take a more dedicated community when it comes to buy-to-play because they're actually invested in the game. The nice thing is you don't have to pay a monthly subscription anymore. So, but there is a monthly plan that does give you XP boosts and does give you crowns every month, which in my opinion is a fantastic deal. If you're gonna if you're planning on buying crowns anyway for the mounts, there's no better way
Right.
to do it because you're getting the same value with extra incentive of XP and things like that. But those are the major differences between buy to play and free to play that I see. Why I prefer buy-to-play over free-to-play? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely strongly prefer buy-to-play over free-to-play.
Oh, I think everyone
I
would.
firmly agree with, for example, continuing paying the subscription, the $15 fee. I mean, it's for one, you're getting the 1,500 crowns every month. You get the constant DLC access. It makes no sense to me to stop paying that anyway. You're supporting, you're showing your support to the developers as well.
At the same time,
that's something I don't want to stop doing.
Right.
It's nice to have flexibility, though. You know, if someone can afford it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I
can't afford
did for like a couple months after the game released. There was like 2 months I couldn't actually play the game just because I didn't have the funds for it. But now with this new model, even if I don't have the funds that month, I can still play, even though I'll be missing content. Possibly I'll be missing some of the DLC or something.
But you'll still have the opportunity to play, like you said, and you'll get the vast majority of everything. Is you don't have backspace limitations, you won't have mount speed limitations, nothing like that. That's all unlocked, and the whole game's there for you. So you're right. I had the same situation. I had some financial hardships, where if it wasn't for Baranon, I wouldn't have played at all for several months. So
things happen.
Yeah.
And the great thing about being buy-to-play, once you purchase the game, it's done. It's yours. You play it then. You have the funds to be able to continue. You go to $15 a month, you do it. When those times are bad, you stop doing it. You play the game still, and then you pick up again when you can. That's all.
Yep.
All right, Vin, what about your play, man? What have you been up to?
Okay. Well, 1.6 came out right when I was leaving for PAX, so I lost, a whole week of gameplay there. So then when I returned, then I started respecking my characters. So I have 8 characters, and although I'm not really running all of them actively, but it was exciting to me to respec their skills and also see what I can do with them in the champion system. So I spent a lot of time there. There's a lot of morphs and, otherwise small changes to skills that I wanted to review each skill, on each character and, which way I wanted to do the morphs. Because in many cases, I actually did choose different morphs in the system as I predicted originally that I would be doing. So I spent some time working on the characters, and then I did some AVA. I spent a couple of nights out in AVA, to try out my main character, Karaneth. He's a Templar healer, and it was interesting. It definitely was, had a slightly different feel to it. I was enjoying my new skill, my Radiant Oppression, which some people call the Jesus beams. those are really cool out there, and I got wrecked by a couple of two-handed fighters. Wrecking Blow, that skill, that really was doing me in, but that was kind of cool, that they've got some really powerful skills too.
Oh yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, and I found that earning the champion points, at least while I was out in the AVA, was a lot quicker than I anticipated, and I actually ended up earning 2 champion points, mostly doing AVA. So I was very impressed with that. Now I was obviously enlightened because I hadn't, gotten to actually play all that much. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. But still, I was pleased with the progression of champion points. Didn't have any issues there. I made a Sergeant Grade 2 out in the AVA, so we had a lot of fun out there. Captured a bunch of keeps and stuff. And captured a keep for the guild. I think it was Fort Rails actually, out in Thornblade we captured. So that was a lot of fun there. I really want to get out into Shadowfen and go back to the PvE content. I did a Dragonstar Arena run on Saturday night, but I haven't seen all the gold yet, so I want to get out to Shadowfen, and I'm really looking forward to getting into the the Skyrim area content. That's really going to be fun, the East March, etc.
You'll enjoy that, I guarantee it.
Yeah, I will greatly enjoy it, so I can't wait to get out there. And on the DSA run, it was funny, when I went up to the DSA run, I found there were dead bodies all over the place, right up there at the top where there's that little town, little village just outside of it. And that was the justice system at work, where people who had failed pickpocketing, and there were some others that were just on a murderous rampage for whatever reason, and there were dead people all over the place. So I took advantage of the justice system, and I went over and said, oh, these people are deceased. Maybe I'll just see what's in their backpack, see if there's anything good. So I did my first justice system pilfering to the poor people who were already viciously murdered by other players.
Were you being a grave robber?
That's terrible.
I didn't murder anyone though.
Fang.
Like I said, I didn't have all that much time to play, unfortunately. So that's all I really got done in the past week or so since 1.6. I know 1.6 has been out 2 weeks, but like I said, we were at PAX East, so didn't get to play while I was there. A little too busy.
Fang FXI in chat has said, for someone who has not played since the first month since launch, is now a good time to come back. I would say March.
I would definitely say yes.
March 17th is the key time to come back. That's when the buy to play launch happens, and you don't have to worry about paying a monthly sub if you don't want to. Yes, the game
changed dramatically since the first month. If you haven't played Fan, this has become a totally different game.
Much improved.
Right.
What I would suggest, I'd say come back on Tuesday, try it out. Obviously, there's no, obligation. Try it out on Tuesday.
You've already bought
free.
the game, so you can go right back in and play.
Yep. And if you really like it, you can subscribe to ESO Plus, but you don't have to. You can just play.
And considering you were subscribed for at least 1 month of the launch, you already got some crowns with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is
So
the
you can market the
currency.
store.
You'll get some credit for the 1 month or whatever that you had. So check it out.
Go in, enjoy it, say hi to the guys and me. We're Daggerfall, so say hi.
Yeah.
If you're not
and if you
Daggerfall,
have a Daggerfall, if you do like it and you have a Daggerfall character, join our guild.
Absolutely.
how do they do that, Vin?
Brotherhood of Redemption.
They go to our website, which is eso.borguild.com. So come on over there, check out our forums, see if you think you'd be a good fit. Be happy to have you.
How about you, Justin? What have you been up to, man?
I actually really haven't done much ESO since before the patch. And before today, I really hadn't even been able to play the patch because I did a big computer error and formatted both my hard drives. So, yay. I had to re-download everything. And that took about 2 or 3 days.
Oh.
But from what I was able to play of ESO earlier today before the show, it was a blast. I loved 1.6. It seems like my attack speed greatly increased. I don't really know why. It just seems that way. It seems like the animation just picked up pace or something.
They did do improvements on that, yes.
But yeah, combat was a lot of fun for what I did with it. I was able to find Joe after an hour of searching. But it was just that he was deep in a cave and I was like the other side of the map, and it just took a while to get over there. So.
Yeah. We have another question actually in chat. Amanda Donna, from what I've read, the DLC and area acquisition, when bought, if any and when there is any, is yours to keep. Does this apply to area DLC or not? I have heard it was. I'm not sure I quite follow that. You guys?
Yeah, I was going to say for DLC once purchased, it should be yours forever.
Yes.
Right.
Because I believe that's...
Yes.
And if you
it's
do
in
the
area-
Any DLC is yours to keep.
exactly.
Once you purchase it, it's
As long
paying
as you
your cash.
purchased.
Now, if you do the monthly
are
plan,
subscribed,
gentlemen,
and you go ahead.
we got too many voices jumping in at once. It's getting confusing for everybody here.
Yeah.
The monthly plan will allow you to have full access to the DLC as long as you're on the monthly plan. If not, if you in that sub, you won't have access to that DLC anymore unless you purchase it. If you purchase it on the side, it's yours to keep regardless of subscription.
Correct.
I think that covers that question.
Yeah.
I think.
Now there is obviously going to be patches and updates like that are all free for everybody. That is going to also unlock minor content, new areas, things like that. So that's free for everybody, regardless. Only the major content upgrades that are going to be considered DLCs are what you're going to have to purchase or get through the monthly plan.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct.
All right, cool.
Or through DLC now, purchase.
Right. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into 1.6, and we will answer any questions that our chat has come up with, gladly, as long as they're within reason, like I said. All right, so 1.6, like we said, is here, guys, and there are a lot of key features. Ven, what is up with the features here? What's the first one we got?
Well, there's all kinds of things. As you know, we've got the champion point system. We've got a complete game rebalance, which is pretty big, and we'll touch on all this, a little bit later. I'm just going over the big stuff. We have the justice system that changes quite a bit in the game.
Yeah,
there's also some other changes like provisioning. Provisioning system was a fairly dramatic change. Collection system is really great for your inventory. Put a lot of stuff into a separate area instead of having to carry around in your backpack all the time.
I'm going to stop you right there because there's a whole lot more to the list. But I want to get into some more detail a little bit for people who've seen where we showed off a lot of these features. The justice system, guys, okay, this is the core feature of the justice system is in place. It's not 100% in place yet because the PvP content is not there just yet because they want to fine-tune justice system before they do that. However, you can now rob people blind. You can break into locked houses and steal from them. You can murder. If you do it smart, you can do all three of the above without getting caught.
And the city guards are extremely powerful.
And the city guards are unstoppable. They are the first time I've ever seen a 3 gold elite before, and you can't beat them. I tried fighting one. I didn't get a sliver of his health before I was slaughtered. I saw a group of people attack one. All that group was dead within seconds, with none of his health missing. And they were all VR 12 and above. So, as you can see, it's not a good idea to rub the guards the wrong way if you can help it. You'll die.
And sadly, there isn't a corrupt one that you can bribe to get.
Right?
Yeah, doesn't work.
Yet. There are 3 things. There's 3 stages to the justice system. 3 levels of, oh crap, I'm in trouble. The first stage is the guards will look the other way. They don't care. The second stage is they will ask you to pay for your crimes. The third stage is kill on sight.
That's right.
You don't want to get third stage.
Right.
However, the good thing is once you're dead, you don't have to worry about it. You get wiped clean. Because for some reason the guards don't realize that you respawn. I don't know. Maybe the pain of death is justice. But anyway, if you get caught and you do pay your fees, which do get quite expensive if you decide to go on a massive spree in Daggerfall. I've proven that on the air.
They go down over time, though.
They do go down over time, and you can go in. There's new areas now in every major city, where you can go down to the underground basically, and go to fences. Fences are the guys that will buy your stolen items. Stolen items cannot be sold to regular vendors anymore. And there's
some of them are quite valuable.
Yeah, some of them can be very valuable. In fact, I made quite a killing in the PTS by robbing. And especially when I go break into houses that are locked, wait until no one's around, pick the lock, go in, murder people so no witnesses, rob the place, rob it blind and walk out the door like nothing happened.
Joe, the Dark Brotherhood you're calling.
It is. I look forward to it. And that brings me to my next point, Justin. Dark Brotherhood is the predecessor to the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood.
Yep.
You mean the justice system?
That's what I meant. Right. Anything else on justice system, guys, you want to bring up?
They need to make guards bribable, so I can get them to fight on my side in AVA.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Hireable, that's what you want.
He wants
I
mercenaries.
want mercenaries, damn it.
Make it so you can hire him as a hireling.
I want mercenaries. I want guard mercenaries.
Oh,
There you go.
and the lockboxes are really cool.
They
You can
are.
now find lockboxes that are usually heavily guarded, but if you can get by the heavily guardedness and actually get them open, the rewards are quite nice. So keep your eyes open for those. Okay, champion system. It's the new star system. It's basically the new. It's like Skyrim 2.0
Yeah.
when it
That's a
comes to
good
the
way.
skill
Yeah.
system. Now, if you remember Skyrim, how it was like the why can't I think? The star
It's the
patterns
fine tweaking. It's fine tweaking your character.
is what it is. Yeah, there's 3 different categories. In those 3 categories, you have points you can allocate to different aspects. One of the 3 different trees, if you will, or constellations. That's what I'm looking for. Constellations that will increase your character in different stats. And some of it can be just kind of used for like crafting, for instance. You get double drops, a 10% chance of double drops, or when you harvest like wood or plants or whatever, things like of that nature. And a lot of it is also for improving your critical. There's a lot of things you can do within that champion point system. A lot of fun. Guys, what else?
Champion system is just so vast. There's so many different ways you can go with everything.
And the coolest thing is once you spend so many points, you get bonus passives.
Mm-hmm.
So you spend 10 points, you get a powerful bonus passive. Then you get 30, you get another one. Then 75, you get another one. And 120, you get another one. So in each of the constellations. That's the really cool part.
What is your guys' favorite bonus? My favorite one so far is the 50% gold increase and the better drop one.
Yeah, the better drops is what I'm going for right now.
I'll probably get into that one. I'm not in that one right now. I didn't have as many skill points as you, or champion points as you guys, because my guy was a lonely VR3.
I got the gold one. I had enough points for that, but
there was one that increased healing I put out that I really liked on that one.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
what about you, Fred?
I can't remember them all, to be truthful, but some of them that came to my mind that I really liked, the Arcane Well is one that's pretty cool. I don't know why, because I don't really use Magicka that much, but it's the one that when you kill somebody, they explode.
Yeah.
And when they explode, they grant Magicka to all your allies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought that was a pretty cool one. And then there's the Last Stand, which earns more Ultima when below 20%. I remember that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've got that one.
So
there's one that also increases your critical by a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's the one I'm going for.
I
on
can't
my
remember
DK.
where it was though.
yeah. So there's a lot of them out there that you got to look over them all. And the cool thing is if you do it and you set up the points and you say, okay, this is the way I want it to go, and you go out and you play and it just doesn't seem to be fitting right, you can go and redo them for like 3,000 gold. It's not a really big killer to go and respect the champion points.
Right.
So you just go in, pay 3,000, and then redo them to another setting setup.
Mm-hmm.
Really isn't that bad.
Yeah, it's an easy way of doing it. Yeah.
And they're also not they're not account locked. So if you make your champion set up on one character, it's not going to be locked for all the characters. They each have their own thing.
Right, but the points are shared.
Have their own. Once they're all
the points are shared.
The second character becomes a vet, they then have access to all the champion system points.
One of the
Well,
coolest things about
They
it,
can
though,
spend it.
if
They
you
can spend it right away, level 1.
yeah, oh they
Oh,
can.
level 1 they have access
Yep.
to. Okay, I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Okay,
I haven't
nice.
looked at it like I said from other characters. yet.
So
Justin.
they can't earn them until vet.
So Justin, I was
Gotcha.
wondering if you wanted to play our characters after the show tonight.
I can't tonight.
Oh, you suck. All right.
I got schoolwork.
Oh no.
Oh,
I got some
forget.
assignments I got to do.
You can delay it by an hour or two. Come on. All right. Well, I'll stop being a bad friend here.
Stop being a bad influence, Joe.
No, I don't want to.
Even though I really don't need a degree to do what I'm doing, but stop being a bad influence.
One of the cool things I like about Champion System, if you earn new champion points on one character, they become available for all other characters,
Correct.
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Which is why if you happen to have been a VR14 before 1.6 came out, you got a really nice boatload of bonus championship.
Yeah, I got the maximum. I was happy.
Yeah.
That's what took me forever.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
provisioning updates. There was a lot of improvements to provisioning, guys. It was a complete revamp. A lot of the old ingredients are no longer usable. However, you can sell them for the exact same amount that it would cost to buy its equivalency. The recipes were made easier, if you will.
Yes.
The drinks were redone to be in line with food. No one ever used drinks because they were never worth it compared to food. The food recipes have drastically have changed. So as well as the drinks, like I said. There is now veteran rank 10 food and drink available, which was not before. The maximum was 5.
It's so good too.
Yeah. Let me see here. Food made with the following ingredients will give you an increase, aka meat will increase health, fruit will increase magicka, vegetables, and stamina. Drinks, alcohol regenerates health, which doesn't make too much sense to me, but whatevs. Tea regenerates your magicka, which does make sense to me in a strange way. Tonics regenerate stamina. Yeah. I haven't had too much time to play with the provisioning. I have my DKs maxed out on provisioning, so I need to go back and actually look at that.
Yeah, I've played with a little bit so far. It is fun. It's much easier. It's much better, and your recipes have converted if you had them, obviously. I found a few recipes even already out in the field, and it's pretty cool. It's simple. Single items recipes are green. Double if it has 2, it's blue. If it has 3, it's purple.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very easy to follow. And as you just said, you know what it'll do. If you have something with meat, it's going to do something with health. If it combines meat and fruit, it's going to affect health and magicka, that kind of stuff. So it's very easy. It makes more sense. Let's put it that way.
And you can now, fishing has a purpose other than
Yes.
achievements.
Yeah.
You can now
Non-trophy
skin
fish
your
can be
fish.
skinned.
Yes, it is awesome.
Yes.
One thing I like is how much less backpack space that the new system takes up with all the ingredients are so much more simplified. Obviously, there's the same amount of recipes. But
Yeah. All right,
That's
guys.
great.
Provisioning update. Now they're at the collection system. All of those pets and everything, and costumes that were cluttering up your inventory that you had to delete, and you now are kicking yourself for deleting. Worry not, I got all mine back.
Mhm.
Yep.
All the pets that I got rid of, I have again. The collection system now automatically puts all the mounts and pets and everything and costumes in an easy to find location that you can use on the spot without being in your inventory.
That was the best thing. One of the best things they did in Six. That is going to probably be one of the best things for people who left that can come back and say, "Oh my God, look at that!" That's going to be one of the big things that they love.
Yeah.
No more inventory space being taken up by your pets, by your costumes, by your trophies. All that stuff is now in the collection system.
And as a result of the new feature, they actually changed how mounts work.
Yeah.
It says previously
Yeah,
each mount.
so wonderful.
Yeah. Previously, each mount was associated with a specific set of statistics, which often led to you needing to choose between your preferred mount appearance or mechanical benefit, so on and so forth. Now you are free to choose any acquired mount you like without compromising statistics, because it's shared. Instead of feeding specific mounts at stables, you will now take riding lessons at stables that will increase your capability with any mount you ride. You will also be able to gain maximum speed, stamina, and capacity increases via these lessons over time. The highest upgrade each player character has achieved with their mounts will be transformed into progress on your riding skill. If you have 3 different mounts with 50 points of upgrades in speed, stamina, and capacity, respectively, you will have those same benefits with your riding skill. Additionally, every different mount on existing accounts will be transferred into the collection system, which is available on all your characters. If there's a specific type of mount that you haven't yet acquired, they will still be available at the stable.
Or in the Crown Store.
And the new ones for the
Crown
Ground Store,
ones.
yes. Which I'm going to be buying one of those funky looking, Gar looking dudes.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a Gar. It's no question.
And this is a big upgrade here because you no longer have to buy those expensive, 42,000 gold horses if you want the max speed and the max carrying capacity. Now it's simply another 250 gold feeding to go, from 50 to 60 in any of your horse stats. So all of my alts, I'm logging on every day now and feed them, and taking them from 50 to 60 in their speed and carrying. And another improvement to mounts is you can now swap weapons while you're on the mount, and you can cast rapid maneuvers. So it's really useful out in AVA. You don't have to dismount, cast a spell, get back on the horse. It's definitely a lot more fun now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Stack sizes increased to 200. More gold items now from refining and hirelings, which is, I believe, is legendary items, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that 200 stack size also helps with your backpacks. This was a huge upgrade in terms of pack space.
Yeah.
All right, now there's a lot of different changes to the way stats work, guys. Now, this is where the big change happened in the game. Okay, they upgraded or updated, sorry, the ratios on all stats. Items and stats now give 10% more health than Magicka and Stamina, when they previously gave 50% more. Some people look at that as a debuff, but it's not. In a way, let me explain. Instead of 20 health per level and 15 health per stat pick, you now get 156 health per level and 122 health per stat pick, which is actually an increase. Armor. The amount of mitigation provided by armor has also changed. A piece of light armor grants 1/4 of the mitigation of an equivalent piece of heavy armor. Now, mitigation means how much damage is being absorbed that your character doesn't feel. I like this change. Light armor is now weaker to where it should be.
Right.
It's no longer a valid choice for a tank. You're going to get your butt whooped. Don't do it.
Yeah. It amazed me. It always amazed me when somebody with light armor and whatever was standing up there being a full tank and it just didn't make sense to me.
Right.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah, in retrospect, also the medium armor grants 3/4 of the mitigation. So having like a heavy armor and medium armor combination is still viable. And then you're not going to get as big of a mitigation bonus as if you did full heavy armor, but the critical and damage that you can get from medium can counteract that. It's up to you, really, how you want to play that. It's just light armor. Full light armor is no longer a really valid tank system.
Which is good.
And remember, there's no more soft caps. They've removed all the soft caps from the game.
Yeah,
Correct.
the only thing that's soft is the what was it? There was one thing that they kept. I can't remember what it is now. Crap. Let me see if I can find it. Go on, if I can find something. I remember reading about it.
Spell resistance. Instead of having a base amount of spell resistance that grows as you level, spell resistance is now provided by armor on a 1-to-1 basis. For example, if a piece of gear gives you 2,000 armor, it also gives you 2,000 spell resistance. So it works for physical and magical. Ooh,
Yay.
simple. Simple. We love simple.
Yeah.
Be careful now, because if your gear all falls off because you've died too many times in a quest, your spell resistance is also now going to be decreased.
Well, yeah, that's
I
again
didn't find
simple.
what I was looking for.
You did? What's
The
up?
only that's now capped is impenetrable, which it reduces the critical strike bonus damage to 0%, and armor and spell resistance, which are capped at 50% mitigation.
Ah,
So there you go. Everything else, there is no soft cap, though, just so you know.
which is good. Which is what they originally planned on doing in the first place.
Correct.
I'm glad they actually decided to go back into that. Passive skills in both the light armor and heavy armor skill lines will modify this ratio. Cool. Amanda Donna in chat asked if we can talk about the difference between spell damage and weapon damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why not.
I
In
think
other
it's
words,
pretty
go ahead.
straightforward now.
What's up, Fred?
Weapon damage is from melee, and spell damage is coming from
Magicka-based abilities.
Yeah.
Right.
So if anything you do that uses Magicka, you can guarantee it's going to be spell damage. In most
Right.
cases,
Which also could be a staff.
like a fire staff.
Okay. Right.
Fire staffs actually count towards magical damage because they
Right.
are a magical entity. Bows, two-handed swords, two-handed or dual wielding,
Melee.
things like that. Those are all count as physical based or weapon based. Also, AKA stamina based.
Yep.
Critical Strike and Spell Critical. Previously, each 10 points of these attributes will give a 1% chance to cause a critical hit to the target. This is no longer true and has changed. The amount of Critical Strike Spell Critical required to get 1% increased chance to cause a critical hit now increases per level.
Yeah, that's different.
Precise weapons that have a lower required level than the player character that owns it will provide less actual benefit. A critical hit still does 50% greater damage unless modified. You will now have a base critical chance of 10%.
Which I believe it started 0% in the past, so
Yes.
that's an
Right.
improvement.
Right. So everybody will possibly hit a critical hit at least 10% of the time.
Right. There's a lot of people would be using weapons that were low level just for the stat benefits, and using spells and abilities, and not really using their weapons to do the damage. That's no longer a valid option. Is that the lower the weapon level is to your level, the greatly reduced stats it will provide, so actual benefits. They removed diminishing returns from the game. That's no longer an issue.
Which were basically the soft caps.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it also means something else, but I'm not going to get into it.
Mhm.
But yes, that too. Removed hard caps on the number of targets that can be affected by area of effect abilities.
Yeah.
AoE
60.
abilities can now hit up to 60 targets. The
Thank
first
you.
6... Yeah, but there's a kicker to that, though. The first 6 will take 100% damage. So the first 6 targets that are hit by your AoE take full in-your-face, ouch damage. The next 24 only take half of it, so they get a couple of cuts and bruises. The last 3 targets will take 25% and will wonder what mosquito bit them. So
There you
there's the thing.
Hey, but they're all taking damage now.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. They might get Lyme's disease or something.
And who knows, maybe that 25% is all that needs to be done to kill them.
That's right.
Okay, but that math doesn't add up. I mean, that's only 55.
175%.
Oh wait, no, I looked at 25% 30, but that adds up. Never mind. The abilities
You don't
that
have to
apply
hit
as
No, man.
100%. It's just how much damage they take.
widget math. Abilities that apply as secondary effects, such as caltrops, will only snare the 6 targets who take full damage, not the full 60.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's worth a try.
There's a couple little things I want to make note of really quick, guys. The equipment boxes sold in Cyrodiil will now contain VR 13 and 14 gear.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Excellent.
Thank goodness. I don't have to try to get VR 12 crud anymore for my VR 13 DK. Veteran Dungeons will now award significantly more experience. I thought
That would be
was
nice, because I
awesome.
remember doing a few VR dungeons and thinking this needs more experience.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I'm going to see if you guys did your homework correctly. I asked before the show to open up the patch notes and to browse it for anything that catches your attention. We're going to see who has done that. The silence tells me everything. You guys all get an F for today's lesson.
Well, sure. You were going to ask who did.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to pick a person.
Okay, let's see.
In that case,
Okay,
you all
I'll
get
tell you.
A's and I fell. So what do you guys got?
Actually, I'll tell you what I found. And here's what one that I actually did check out too, the updated tutorial.
Oh, you took mine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They
really?
have revised the way the Whaling Prison works, and for those of you who have done it in the past and have maybe not gone through it since way back when, may want to go and take a trip down memory lane and see that it has completely changed. They've changed the way the Whaling Prison is now visited. It'll be guided through by Lyris, of course, but things have totally changed, and it's a little easier, a little different, things like that. Check it out. So the Whaling Prison has been revised. So there's my little tidbit of the patch notes.
I like that, Fred.
Thank you.
I have one for you guys. General gameplay. There's a couple of changes that I thought were kind of cool. They're minor things that you won't notice at first until you realize that didn't happen before. For instance,
Yeah.
NPCs will now attempt to avoid colliding with each other if they're on the same path. And on the same note, they will also occasionally greet each other.
I'm sorry, you
Cool to
what?
see.
What, Fred?
What was the second one? I didn't hear that.
They will occasionally greet each other.
Ah, yes. Very good. You're
Um,
right. I have seen that, by the way.
I haven't yet.
I had to stop because I thought they were saying hello to me, and I realized they were talking to each other.
NPCs will now
Just
travel
ignoring me.
and turn more realistically.
Yes.
All right, what else you guys
Yay.
got?
They are making the world more realistic. There's no doubt about that.
The graphics also, I noticed, seem to be improved.
Yes. I agree there.
Changed the animations of combat and other things.
Yeah, and it was
And
noticeable.
It's really cool.
It's awesome. The game as a whole, like I said, has been totally refreshed. This is just
Yeah, it really has.
what this game has turned into again. It's just, I mean, I feel totally revitalized by, in going in there. It's not the same game.
Not at all. You see, there was a lot of big changes to werewolves, I believe, this time around too, right?
Yeah. A lot of people are turning into werewolves again and enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I've been a werewolf.
mean, there are so many minor things that were changed. Like, I'm going through the list, looking at all the zone specifics, the class
There's
specifics.
hundreds of games.
There is hundreds
It's too
of pages.
hard to go through all this.
Yeah.
Is there anything the chat room would like to focus on? Anything else?
A weapon, a skill, something.
Yeah, because we could go over anything in particular here.
Yeah. I mean, this is literally a 300-page novel of patch notes.
Oh, yeah.
I particularly, being a Templar, like I said, I've been enjoying the Radiant Destruction, which replaced the Blinding Light, so it's something that's totally new, and it's really useful. If your enemy is near death, you can hit them with this, and it does quite a bit of damage. It's quite a useful new skill for Templars, so it definitely makes playing a Templar a little more exciting now.
Yeah, they did a lot of class changes. I believe nearly every class got their points reset.
Yep.
Yep.
There's tremendous amount of stuff done to the classes. It's just remarkable. I think what they've done to everything is just
Monsters will now gain immunity to crowd control effects for 5 seconds in the same way that you do.
Yeah, that's what Baron was mentioning earlier, that,
Yeah.
sometimes you hit them, if you don't notice the little rings around them, you may say, oh, darn, he's immune to that, but it's just temporary.
yeah, it is. It's every time you swing and you do something that in the past it was instant. It worked every single time. Now everything's changed. I mean, you just don't know if that buff or that like I said, I usually do a bash that stuns every single time, and it used to work without a problem. Now,
Yeah, same with my destructive touch. You can't just keep someone, nailed up against the wall like in DSA. What you can do, though, is you can crowd control one and move to another and crowd control that one.
yeah,
Oh, guys, this is a big thing for sorcerers. I'm going to let you guys know this. Summoning a pet no longer reduces your available magicka.
Yeah, that is huge.
Oh, that's good. I didn't even catch that one.
That's a big one. The crit rating for pets is now equal to your spell critical rating.
Okay.
Those are some big ones I was looking at. I play my sorcerer when I'm soloing with the holdo.
Well, yeah, they're your lifeblood for a while. Especially if you're all by yourself, because you got your tank and you got your
explains
healer.
so much. That little statement right there explains so much why I'm having so much of an easier time with my sorcerer. Because I can cast all these spells without, like I wasn't able to do that with that many before.
Yeah,
Our
so you
level.
have the pets out. Yep.
There's a new skill line, guys, for Justice System.
oh yeah, that's
the
right.
first
Yes.
time you pickpocket somebody or pick a lock or kill an NPC, this pops up. Anytime you do something bad.
I completely forgot about that one when I was redoing my skill points. Damn.
And at least one of the things in there is useful even outside of the justice system. The reduced cost of sneaking, I believe, is one of the options.
Yes.
Yes, that's actually the first one you can spec into. I'm looking for that right now. Actually, I'm looking for the new system. Safe boxes, assaults and murders, citizen reactions. Different citizens will react differently to your unlawful actions. Some citizens you do not want to steal from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some will turn around and stab you right in the eye. And go, guard, he's stealing from me, and then the guard will come over and cut your head off.
Okay, it's not showing me the skill line. I'm trying to remember the name of it because it's actually a complicated
Oh,
name.
Legerdemain. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but it's something like Legerdemain.
Yeah, it's got a weird name to it.
Yep.
I actually got a point in it somehow the other day, and I don't know how the heck I did it because I wasn't stealing anything. But
Well, did you pick a lock on a
Break into
chest?
house, you'll get it.
no,
If
it was something to do with I was inside of one of the dungeons.
Did you pick
and
a chest?
I must have picked a lock. That's what it was.
If you
I
pick the
picked a
chest,
lock.
it'll unlock it.
Yeah.
So pretty much
That's right.
anybody at some point is gonna unlock that skill line.
Yeah.
Yep. It'll be automatic from doing lock picking and stuff, which is cool. Monster abilities.
All right, guys. That was pretty much it for tonight's episode. 1.6 is a monster. It's something you definitely have to experience. It is by far the biggest patch I've ever seen in any game that
Any
wasn't an expansion.
Yeah, that's the scary part. I'm curious how big expansions are going to be now.
I mean, full game manuals haven't been as big as this patch notes has been.
No.
I mean, this is an amazing patch note.
It's almost like an infinite scroll site that you can just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling
Yeah,
and just see
it's something like 22,000.
something new.
An amazing patch note.
Yeah, very large.
And it's just amazing. Exciting. That's what I can say.
Play.
Any last final thoughts
You'll enjoy it.
regarding this, guys, before we end the night?
Play the game. If you aren't playing it, it's come March 17th, Tuesday. You can all get in. If you haven't been playing it, come back. You'll enjoy this game again. You will enjoy it.
All right, everybody.
It's fun.
Have a fantastic week. We hope to talk to you again next week. If not, we will be back the week after. Either way. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be recording next week because of the launch of the Buy to Play. So I'm pretty sure we'll have stuff to talk about. So stay tuned for next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back. Everybody have a fantastic time in ESO, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye. Enjoy
Adios
the
and
game.
Take care, everyone. See you next week.
have fun in ESO.